Aries, today we are going to be discussing what happens when you merge your energy with others. We're going to discuss why you do it and methods for relating to others without giving up your individuality. These are the methods that work for many of my Aries clients, whether they have many planets in Aries, their sun in Aries, their rising sign in Aries, their nodal structure in Aries. We have to look at all these things and say, depending on your Aries placements, you'll be relating it to that planet, but the principles stay the same. And this is what works. So Aries, why do you merge your energy with others? What happens? Why? The big thing and the big reason that you do this is because you're constantly seeking a state of inner harmony. And you're so sensitive to the relationship with other people in your lives, meaning everybody around you, you can sense whether or not there's discord there, how they're feeling. You can sense their moods. And this is because sometimes you don't have an adequate boundary up, and we're going to discuss that. And what happens is you're always giving and helping other people, so you're trying to establish harmony with others. And this can work fairly well as long as you're not giving up your own sense of inner harmony to do that. When you do give up your own sense of inner harmony, you suppress your needs, you suppress the things that work for you, you suppress the routines, or you give up the routines that you need to accomplish your goals, and you suppress your impulses to make sure other people are happy in your environment. And then what happens is you end up blowing up down the road on these people anyways. So here you are thinking, okay, I'm just going to, make sure my partner's happy and make sure everybody's good. And you kind of use your Arian ability to be diplomatic. And we have to remember that diplomacy for an Arian has to be used towards the end of your own personal desires. So what's best for you as an individual and what you're trying to manifest. Diplomacy is then a tool to that, not an end in and of itself, but because you're so sensitive to everybody else's discord, you get so worried about upsetting them and them seeing a darker shade of you that what tends to happen is you hold yourself back. And eventually you can't do it anymore. And then you blow up, and it makes the situation a lot worse down the road because you didn't get to express yourself in a healthy way for months or weeks or whatever it may be. And then you're blowing up at these other people because you have to finally establish a boundary in order to create a sense of inner harmony, which has now been disturbed by the fact that you've overgiven or you've overshared or you've sacrificed yourself and your own impulses to continue to keep the peace with other people. So what happens when you merge your energy with others is it creates a sense of dependency, either on your part or their part or both, right? You become dependent on them being calm and at peace so that you can stay calm and at peace, or you become dependent on them feeling good so that you can feel good. And this is a tough place to be as an Aries because you don't want to be dependent on anybody else for your own sense of harmony, right? You want to be at peace within yourself. And how we have to do that is we have to stop merging our energy with others, because once we're dependent on them, now all of a sudden we've sacrificed ourselves and deferred to the partner. And this self-sacrificial mode deprives us of putting all that great Arian energy that we would have been able to give to the partnership, which would have been our gift to the partner or the other people in our lives that we're working with. But we're deprived of that when we're sacrificing ourselves to be party to those interactions. So then what happens in these codependent sort of states that you end up in, sort of unconsciously find yourself there, is that your energy is gone. It's zapped. It's not even present in the interactions of the day-to-day. And people may be able to sense this, but really what's happened is you're just not doing what's right by you. You're not having the alone time to yourself. You're not working on the things that are important to you. You're deferring constantly to an outer party, and then this is causing you to build up this, tension, or to be drained and flat. So either you're giving and over giving to the other person to keep the harmony and peace within the relationship, constantly doing your part to maintain the peace. And then what happens is eventually, it's so draining to you that you have to finally take yourself back a little bit, or you're absorbing so much of their energy, the other people's energy, that it gets you almost overly excited and jittery. So clearly we don't want to enter into a state where we're codependent, where we're becoming drained, and where we're merging our energy with the partners, because then you're overly identifying with them and losing your sense of individuality as an Aries, which is the sign of the individual, the me, the I, right? It's, virtuous for you to maintain your own sense of individuality. So I want you to become aware of that now. And as you become aware, you can feel free to comment below and tell me how these different things are manifesting in your life. By calling this to your awareness, by making you conscious of it, you're then able to maneuver in the world in a more powerful way. Because now you can go, wait a minute, I think I'm merging with their energy too much. I think I'm picking up what they have and it's making me anxious or excited or jittery. I think I'm feeling drained by these interactions, and here's why. Is I become dependent on creating peace with them, and I forgot about creating peace with myself. So the solutions here, the methods that are going to keep you from merging your energy with others and finding yourself in these states, our goal is now to become aware of other people's energy. So we're aware of how these other people are feeling. We're aware of what's going on, but we're not overly identifying with it, and we're not being overtaken by it. That's the key. We're not letting the other person's energy field overtake our energy field. Meaning we're still able to see ourselves as separate from the other person. That's step one. We have to go, okay, I am not them. I'm feeling what they're feeling. Got it. They're a little here, they're a little there, they're a little sad, happy, mad, whatever it is. Okay, got it. That's not me. I can sense what they're feeling, but now I have to operate out of an authentic place. I mean, I gotta get back in touch with how I feel, not necessarily how they feel. If they're not in a harmonious state, that's not something that's my job to fix. So we can begin to establish this boundary between you and them by getting grounded in your body, right? We can establish a sense of awareness of ourselves and this idea that we're not being overly merged with the other person by being aware of how we feel internally. How does my body feel? Am I anxious? Am I stressed? Is like, what is going on internally? That's what we want to pay attention to. Am I feeling a little stressed out? Am I feeling happy? Am I feeling excited? Like, what is the state? That's going to tell us, are we in a good space? Are we in a bad space for ourselves? By staying in touch with ourselves and not what they're feeling, we can then separate ourselves from it, keep up a healthy boundary. And so what this is going to do is allow you to stay in touch with your own individual power. As an Aries, all of your power comes from your sense of individuality, right? It's like all the good things for you come from you acting on your own impulses, getting in touch with your own desires and acting in alignment with those. So you're taking on and defining a point of view for yourself, and then you're acting in accord with that, in harmony with that. And that creates a sense of inner harmony, right? Here's my point of view. Here's what I want. Here's what I want to go after. And then you allow yourself to act on those impulses and stay tuned into the moment of what feels right. There's tremendous power in you maintaining your individuality and you staying in touch with that part of yourself constantly. How does my body feel moment to moment, moving through the motions towards my desires? And then from that state, accessing your power and all of that, now you can maintain and reestablish your Arian boundary, which makes it less likely that you'll merge with the other person again. I mean, it will happen, right? It'll unconsciously probably happen until you become super hyper aware of it. And then, you're like, okay, I see what's happening here. Their energy is sort of charging me up. Their energy is draining me. I need to stop deferring to them. I need to stop looking to them. And now you've got your boundary up. You're staying in touch with your body. You've got the techniques now. Once you have this boundary established, right, and you have these techniques down, now what's happening is you're not giving beyond your limits. That's one of the main keys here, is we don't want you, Aries, to give beyond your limits. And I have a lot to give, but at some point, right, it doesn't feel right for me to give anymore. At some point, I need to just stop and take a break and do some stuff for myself. And then when it feels right, I can get right back to giving. And that's the key. Does it feel right? We're not giving beyond your boundaries anymore. We're not giving at your expense. You're not giving your energy to others and merging your energy with others in a way that's self-sacrificial, because you are the thing that is the gift to everybody else. You are the thing that you're giving. Your energy is what's being given. If you're depleted, there's no gift left to give. If you're just going through the motions because you're drained, and other people don't understand that, and they're just take, you find yourself in a bad spot. So you're giving without going beyond your limits. Then as an Aries, you're free to give from your heart without needing anybody else's approval. Aquarius and Aries both have that sort of dynamic where they're like always not realizing it, that they're like, mistake is looking for the approval of the other people rather than just going after what it is that they want and risking disapproval. And the reason that is that Aquarius is sextile to Aries. So, one unlocks the other. Being impulsive and acting on your spiritual ideas a lot in the same way of Aquarius risking disapproval to, achieve their ideals and to build those things in society, even though they're futuristic and they're out there and other people won't approve up front. So you have to risk the disapproval and just go after it. And then the people who are right will sort of flood in. And then you can really empower people that way. But you can't empower them when you're deferring to their approval for the thing you're trying to do. It's the same thing with Aries. You're looking for other people's approval that things are harmonious and good and peaceful. You're looking for their approval that your impulse is spot on and you should follow it sometimes. You don't always do that. I mean, a lot of you are, especially, the more Arian you are, the more you probably follow your impulses more often than you don't, right? But it's let's say 40% of the time you don't follow your impulse. That's 40% we can improve upon. 40% of the time you defer to peace and harmony in the relationship, and that 40% is costing you quite a bit. Because it could be the thing that's stopping your flow state. It could be the thing that's keeping you from the consistency you need, because Aries can already be diffusive and spread too thin. So without seeking other people's approval, you're free to share right from the heart. So we're becoming aware of other people's energy. We're not letting it overtake us. We're doing this by staying grounded in our bodies. This allows us to stay in touch with our individual power, thereby reclaiming our healthy Arian boundary or reestablishing it and getting in touch with that again. From there, you won't be giving beyond your limits and feeling drained or having other people's energy sort of imprinted on you. And then, of course, you're free to share from the heart as much as you want, because you've got a healthy boundary and framework from which to share from. So if you're interested and you want to work on a deeper level with your own individual chart, because you're not just an Aries and you're not just have some planets in Taurus or something, you've got an entire unique individual chart that won't repeat for thousands and thousands of years. So what we want to do is take full advantage of that. If you're ready to play the long game, if you're ready to put in the work, then, click the link below or go to m.me/jsunastrology. You can message me right on Facebook and we'll see if this is a good fit for you. If astrological coaching, where we transform vice to virtue, is the right fit for you. If not, you still get a lot of good information from this video, and there'll be more videos coming. You can still learn a lot from this channel. Now, if you like this content, please feel free to like, share, subscribe, and please leave me a comment below. Let me know if this is landing home for you. If it's not, well, then just don't comment. All right, so I will see you all soon.